Hello and welcome to Lucid9 Inciting Incident. It's a free visual novel on Steam and itch.io, developed by Fallen Snow Studios. And it's a mystery visual novel. And I quite like mysteries. And from the store page and these silhouettes, seems very anime too. So an anime mystery visual novel. Seems like my type of game. Like, have you ever heard of Higurashi no Naku Koro ni? Or When the Cicadas Cry? It's a very similar theme, I think. Or at least, well, what do you call it? Not theme, but like a similar series, I guess. I feel like, right? Anime style mystery, probably gonna solve some kind of what I've heard from the store page, some sort of murder. You know, we're gonna be doing that and go through the story and figure out what's happening. You know, but well, I don't know much about this game in general, so before we start speculating, we should actually dive right in. So let's do that. Okay, we're now in a forest. I step back and examine my masterpiece. Perfect. My favorite color. I've always loved red. It's different, brilliant, vibrant, unusual, a happy anomaly. Red? Is it blood? Oh no, we're starting off with the murder right now? That's fast. Just like me. Red isn't much for nature. Really only shows up in autumn. And even then, it's a dreary rust or a nauseating cherry. And we just can't have that. Not when it deserves so much more. A whispering breeze filters through my thoughts, brushing against my skin with icy fingers. I allow myself a moment to pause, to relish, to admire, to welcome the fresh scent of freedom. This is what I live for. When I open my eyes, I spot a frail leaf dancing upon the backbone of the passing wind, afflicting the world with its appalling shade of asparagus. I pluck it from its branch with the edges of my stained fingernails. What do you have against asparagus? Disgusting. How anyone could enjoy this color eludes me. A soft groan redirects my attention to my waiting masterpiece. It's lovely, really. Spread across the ground, face contorted with fear, twitching, cold fingers clutching at empty air. Not my best work, unfortunately. The canvas died much quicker than I had originally expected, even when I tried to carve a bit slower. I don't know if this well... Anyway, I'm not gonna say anything yet. Well, no matter. Today it shall be a palette for my paint. I make quick work of my new palette's chest. Okay, so it was okay. I thought it was. At first, I thought this was all like a bait. I thought that he was like drawing on a literal canvas, and it wasn't a metaphor for a dead body. But palette's chest. I'm pretty sure this is a dead body, and he's carving it, or well, he, she. I don't know. We don't know who's speaking right now. This narrator. I make quick work of my new palette's chest, ignoring the twitching of post-mortem reflexes from its mutilated kneecaps. The sweet color of red, true crimson, pierced scarlet, slinks down its pallid abdomen, licking at the blossoming turf below. I'm wondering, is this a human body? It could be just an animal, but well, even then, that's pretty cruel. But abdomen, that tells me that it is a human body. I dig my finger into the setting pool of blood. It's warm, sticky, like syrup or settling gelatin. The sweet scent wafts to my nostrils. It smells of iron, or of rust, of all things sharp and beautiful. Yeah, well, blood does smell like iron. And it's not because there is iron in our blood, well, not a lot of it anyway. It's more so how blood interacts with the environment around us. And there's like a chemical reaction that makes it smell like rust, you know? Or a smell similar to rust. I believe, unless I'm getting my science wrong. Now, a new canvas. Another one. How many canvases have you been painting on? I check my surroundings, evaluating the surfaces and textures and sizes and shapes of every object in sight. None are quite so satisfactory as human skin, with its elasticity, its porous absorption, its innately warm tint. But a substitute is required, so a substitute I must find. So that is yeah, I mean this pretty much confirms it. Human skin. Presently, I realize that I'm still holding that eyesore of a leaf in my hand. Well, I suppose we'll have to do. In one bold, fluid stroke, I swipe my paint across the leaf, the very essence of Van Gogh himself. Ah yes, dear Vincent. The man cut off his own ear to send a message when words just didn't suffice. I always admired his style. Did Van Gogh cut off his ear intentionally? I can't remember actually. I know he did lose an ear. I forget if it was because someone else took his ear or did he do it himself. I don't know. Anyway, I take a moment to appreciate the leaf's newfound radiance before searching for a proper display. Something like this deserves to be exhibited. I hang my canvas back on its branch. And that's better. If only there was more of this color in the world. Oh. The unexpected interlude of my phone. Vibrate. Drives me out of my thoughts. The irritating thing just loves to ruin the climax. Moshi Moshi? Yes? Is it done? You're always in such a rush. Well, yes, it's done. I was having a moment. There's more where that came from. You interrupted me. You're the one who wanted to know when it was finished. A thrill leaps through my veins as my lips pull into a tenuous smile. Well, is it? Same time, same place as usual. You know the drill. I nearly clap my hands, but must master myself for one final word. Understood. I cut the transmission and eagerly withdraw a small bottle from within my jacket. Only one pill left, but no matter. I'll be getting more soon enough. I popped the final capsule into my mouth, puncturing its skin with my teeth and rolling the bitter gel over my tongue. Now this is life. Don't do drugs, kids. As a wave of euphoria sweeps through me, I turn from my handiwork, strolling out of the meadow. Today's fun is over, but tomorrow will hold just as many pleasures. Ma? Yama Ishimoto? Huh? From that to I guess school? The way the desks are arranged, it looks like, oh, this is what a lecture hall looks like, you know, in college or university. Actually, no, this is not what I want. I wanted to. Where's the save? Save. Yes, save here. All right, so we're Yama who? again? Yama Ishimoto, and I guess this takes place in Japan, though I believe the developers aren't from Japan. They just have a setting in Japan, which is amazing because isn't that what all is that how all weebs like to start their stories? Take place in Japan, but not really. The game's not really from Japan. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway. I sluggishly pulled my head upward, fixing my eyes on the woman at the front of the classroom. Okay? Are you even listening? I hide in an instinctive smirk. Technically, no. I have always found napping more appealing than relearning history that's been drilled into me since age 6. Not that I can actually say that. In all honesty, this teacher doesn't deserve that kind of callous response. Yes, ma'am. Perfect. Summarize the whole section we've been reviewing. I glanced at the touchscreen board mounted behind the teacher, quickly skimming over the graphics and typography hovering on its surface. Oh, fancy. I didn't have that when I was in school. You had to read textbooks, and we had a chalkboard. History of Isamu, our glorious metropolis, beginning 2000 AD. Easy. Life was really boring for a while. We weren't in debt, weren't at war, and we're basically doing nothing interesting. The teacher's lips purse into a thin line as the classroom erupts into snickers. I feel the slightest tinge of regret and rain in my sarcasm. Then in 2007, America entered a debt crisis that caused a worldwide financial crash. Japan was one of the countries most affected by this. Well, second to China. And why might that be? Because we were dumb about who we were partnered with. She taps her fingers impatiently on her desk, her eyes narrowing into slits. Well, she asked me to summarize the chapter. She didn't ask me how. Anyway, our glorious in government didn't handle the situation so hot, so we had a lovely depression with all-time highs of unemployment and crime. Good effort, good star, a gold star. The teacher waves her hands as the class roars with laughter. Right, that's enough. I'll be needing to talk with you after class about your attitude, young man. In other news, the grass is green. Elizabeth, perhaps you can salvage this explanation? Waifu spotted. She gestures a few seats to my right, where my lavender-haired classmate sits, her spine as straight as a ruler. I feel a curdle of distaste in the pit of my stomach as I lounge against my chair. Of course, Elizabeth Oshiro, class valedictorian, school poster child, and the area's golden girl. Nap time. I settle my hands in my arms as Elizabeth leaps to her feet, smiling warmly. Oh, I thought you were settling your head into her arms, but never mind, not yet. Certainly, during this time, Japan fell into chaos. Public demonstrations, often violent, occurred almost every day. Furthermore, political scandals regarding a national government kept spreading. The teacher relaxes at Elizabeth's textbook recitation. She even shoots a quick glare in my direction, as if to say, "See, why can't you be more like Elizabeth?" Eventually, local political powers became more effective than the centralized administration, hence why Isamu operates as smoothly as it does. Yes, thanks to the mayor's efforts. Perfectly done, Elizabeth. Elizabeth smiles primly and settles back into her seat, fixing her eyes on me with challenging disapproval. I only shrug my shoulders, sending her an easy smirk. Ooh, beautiful and brainy. She might be worthy enough to make my list. I glanced to my left just in time to catch another classmate, the male side character that oogles at your waifus but will never get laid. Yahiko Ikari, winking conspicuously at Elizabeth. She clearly ignores him. Well, that's Yahiko for you. I can't remember a day when he hasn't tried to flirt with some girl or another, nor can I remember a day where he wasn't flat out rejected. Technically, he's my former roommate, which makes him my friend of 2 years. How close of a friend? Well, that's up for debate. She managed to deflect my charms. I wonder how. Me too! No one can resist Yahiko Ikari. Yahiko claims his mouth shut at the teacher's strident command. She leans heavily against her desk, massaging her temples with her fingers. Alright, class. Thanks to Elizabeth, we've seen where we come from. I'm sure you're all wondering what the point of this history recap was. Not really, no. We must study the past to understand the future. As such, it's imperative that the next topic be taken seriously. So, where do you all see yourself 10 years from now? I'm barely able to stifle a snort. It's only, what, the second day of school? Sure, this is third year class. Sure, we're preparing for college entrance exams. Does that mean we have to know exactly what we want to do for the rest of our lives? The teacher pointedly looks at me, a hard glint in her eye. Well, I mean, sort of. You should start thinking about it, you know? In the last year of high school, I sure as hell didn't, and look where I am now. Not anywhere important. Anyway. Yama Ishimoto, perhaps you'd like to get us started. I'm tempted to say, no, thank you, but that'd be pretty rude. I mean, you're already pretty rude. If you get any ruder, well, you probably get kicked out. I'll manage my parents' restaurant, I guess. Well, at least, yeah, you have a backup plan. You know, Yama, that's good. The teacher's lips tighten ever so slightly. I know what she's thinking. No passion, no ambition. You'll be a failure, this one. I mean, managing a restaurant, that's not bad. Like, you're managing a business. I mean, come on. That's like pretty responsible, actually. It'll pay the bills. What more can I ask for? Oh, yeah. Really, dude? Out of anything you could have picked, you picked the restaurant manager? I mean, restaurant manager, that's like that's pretty good. I mean, what would you expect? Like, the leader of this country? I doubt it. Well, what would you suggest? Add a bunch more, dude, like women and cars. And he criticizes me for a lack of imagination. Come on, it's 10 years. Anything can happen. The teacher shoots him a disapproving glare as his voice raises dramatically in volume. There's a bug on my desk. Hold on. I have defeated the bug. It will now go away. Alright. Moving on. Yahiko, thank you for volunteering. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Yahiko beams, and I feel a sudden sense of dread. Here goes his dream, the one that I heard no less than 200 times before. Well, Teach, I see myself with a Ferrari F500 under one arm, a Lamborghini Aventador 704 under the other, and a lot of beautiful women in between, fighting for the honorable privilege of bearing my children. The class stares at him. Ah, heck, let's have some fun. I whisper to him. What about the mansion? Right, take all that, put it in front of a 20,000 square foot mansion and attended by the staff of 1,000 maids. And where is it located? Oh, it's in the Caribbean, on an island. A man-made island specifically constructed just for me, with my name laser engraved into the hills so that every plane that flies by sees that it belongs to... that's quite enough, Yahiko. Thank you for your, input. And also, how do you think you will achieve such fame and fortune, Yahiko? I don't think that's a dream, that's just what you want in the future. Clearly, she doesn't believe in this dream. Actually, I don't think anyone except Yahiko believes in this dream. Then again, Yahiko has enough belief to make up for everyone else. Now, Umiko. What about you? Or Umeko? Umeko? As the rest of her classmates drone on about joining some kind of mega corporation like Lemniscate or Way Forward Pharmaceuticals, I lean closer to Yahiko. You forgot some things. I did? The yacht, the walk-in closet just for designer shoes, private jet, a second mansion, Tahiti. Oh crap, I did! Hey Teach! Fortunately for the teacher, the school bell rings before he can grab her attention. The classmates immediately shove their belongings into their bags and bolt for the door. Meanwhile, Yahiko heads straight for the teacher's desk, eyes lit with excitement as he gabbers on about his yacht and his designer shoes and his private jet and his second mansion in Tahiti. You know, mention what they mentioned before. The other students mentioned like working in like a mega corporation. Maybe the reason why the teacher was disappointed in our main protagonist here for working in the restaurant. Maybe this is like a restaurant manager. Maybe this is like a high scale school, right? I assume high school, right? Well, yeah, third year, so it's like high school. Maybe it's like a private high school or something, and everyone here is like pretty rich or something like that. It would explain why Yahiko has such big ambitions. Well, ambitions, more like what he wants. Again, it's just what he wants. Yeah, and then maybe our main protagonist here isn't all that rich, which is why his goal is restaurant manager. But even then, again, like from my perspective anyway, restaurant manager, like that's pretty good, you know, as a career. It's not like the worst thing in the world. It's not like you're working for a minimum wage or anything. You're managing a business. Again, that's like impressive. Anyway. And then there's Elizabeth, slipping into Yahiko's now vacant seat. She shifts her backpack's weight to the desk and raises a patronizing eyebrow at me. Well, sorry for being realistic, Miss CEO of a mega corporation. Well, I guess she is? Or is she a CEO right now? Or, well, actually, I think she's going to be a CEO. Right, that's her dream. Or something like that. Sorry that I actually have ambition, Mr. Manager of the family restaurant. What? Should I have talked about having a mansion and cars and maids on my own personal island? You didn't even shoot for a restaurant not owned by your parents. Yeah, they'll kick the bucket one day. I might as well be the one who takes over. Have some respect, would you? I snicker at that. Respect? Me? I flash her a bright, overly friendly smile. See you around, Lizzie. She fumes, but forces herself to take a deep breath until her expression stills. Unfortunately. That was a pretty nice comeback, I'll give her that much. Beth, still up for lunch? Oh, okay. Second waifu spotted. And I guess Elizabeth knows us or something? Childhood friend, maybe? Or at least something similar? A student slides through the door with a warm smile and a wave. I recognize her as a girl who's always with Elizabeth. Don't know much else about her. In the blink of an eye, Elizabeth's face softens into a friendly grin. Cute smile. I'll be right there. Yep, just in case it wasn't clear enough, her hate is directly exclusively to me. She's the queen of angels to everyone else. Particularly this girl, who I guess is the closest thing she has to a friend. Well, Ishimoto, it's been a pleasure. I bet it has. She lifts her chin and stiffly walks out of the room, nearly bumping into a startled Yahiko on the way out. As the train of second years, probably her groupies, pull her away, Yahiko slips next to me. Why did she talk to you? Not me, the great Yahiko Ikari. Maybe because there's a limit to how many brain cells she's willing to sacrifice for a conversation? That beats me. She's been doing that for a while. Really? We were in the same class last year. Really? I'm not surprised that he just learned about this. Then again, to be fair, I don't talk to Yahiko much about my personal life. Yeah, something like that. It's not important. Yahiko evaluates me for a second with an unusually stoic expression, but quickly shakes it off, his face melting into a grin. So, what'd you think about my dream earlier? This again. On second thought, maybe we should have kept talking about Elizabeth. Same as the other 200 times you've told me. Hasn't been 200... Well, has it really? 203, to be exact. Huh. So, that means you think it's amazing, right? Totally. I think it's the best dream in history, and it's so original and realistic. Thanks, dude! But, I don't think you're aiming high enough. Huh? What should I add? Aim for the moon. He gasped as if it's the best idea ever. The poor soul. Forget Tahiti? A mansion? On the moon? You'll be the first. And probably the last. Just think about the possibilities. No one's ever set foot on the moon. Well, does this take place before people set on the moon, or? Imagine how famous I'd be if I built a mansion there. No one's even set foot? Seriously? Oh, never mind, Yahiko is just an idiot. He's just an idiot. Either I stepped into the conversation at the wrong time, or someone just came up with a really stupid idea. Oh, okay, 2 more people. Rui Hayata, my friend of 10 years. Oh, so she's the childhood friend. Technically, she's a grade lower than me, but that doesn't stop us from hanging out. She stuck with me through thick and thin. She probably knows me better than I know myself. Beside her stands Masato Kurugane, hardy in both build and personality. If I had to describe him in one word, I'd use fire. Easily antagonized, hard to put out, and blazes every obstacle out of his way. Afternoon, little daisies. What's going on here? I'm gonna build a vacation home on the moon. Somehow, I can't say I'm surprised. I know, right? I'm brilliant. Think, the first man on the moon, and the first man to build a mansion on it. You're so bright, you're blinding me. What have you been telling him? That a giant leap for him is a small step for mankind. She has to think about that for a moment, but I'm rewarded with a smirk. Clever. I know. Look, if you kids are done yapping, Yama and I gotta head to track. What? I didn't think Yama was joining again this year. Of course he is. Oh, this is news to me. It doesn't seem like a good idea, considering he only went to one practice last year and ditched the rest. Well, he ain't ditching this year. Ain't that right, man? Well, now that you mention it. What's that? You guys didn't even win last year, Masato. No need to make a big deal. Masato's eyes flare with the instinctual need to prove the worthiness of track. We're winning this year. I got a secret weapon. Really? Masato lights up at Ryui's apparent interest. See, we lost last year because we didn't have good names. This year, I've got a great one. He pauses for dramatic effect. Marvelous Masa. Oh, even Yahiko doesn't approve? Well, at the very least, this is a pretty good opportunity to joke around. Wow, that's fantastic. And I'll call myself Speed of Light, Mountain Destroyer. The hell? Should rename yourself to Streaking Shadow, Dark Eradicator. Then we'll be unstoppable. Ain't no way I'm going with that! Yeah, he isn't great with sarcasm. I smirk at him, but before I can elaborate, the PA above us crackles to life. The club fair is officially open in the courtyard. Feel free to drop by and check out some of what your fellow students have planned. Alrighty, it's just the second day. Maybe the school is just making everything happen faster this year. I don't really see why. Isamu Imperial Boarding Academy has already done well for itself, even throughout the recession. There's no need to change things now. Hey, it's club time! Let's go take a look! No thanks, I'd rather not be blacklisted. What does that mean? It means that she's afraid to go with you. You'll outshine her so much that the clubs won't be interested in her. Oh! Ryu glares at me. I only wink back. Well, you shouldn't worry about that, my dear Rui. I'm sure I can use my substantial sphere of influence to get you a good spot. I'm already in a club, you know? Drama club. Oh, right. It looks like Yahiko. Yahiko isn't good with sarcasm either. These two are bakas. She's been in the drama club since last year and somehow he's still forgotten. Then what was Yama talking about? Nothing, just acting like an idiot as usual. Well, I guess I'm also an idiot as well. Well, you know what they say, like attracts like. Ryu elbows me sharply in the ribs, but her lips aren't, or her lips are pulling up at the corners. They also say opposites attract. Are you hinting at something? Anyway. Yeah, and we know which one you are. She slaps me playfully on the arm as Masato and Yahiko watch with blank stares. Did I just miss something? No more than you usually do. Yahiko frowns for a moment, but eventually shrugs the exchange off. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I need to find myself a club to grace with my innumerable talents. They're innumerable, alright. As in, well, anyway, as in, it doesn't have a number, it's 0, anyway. So, without further ado, I bid thee farewell. He turns with a flourish of his hand, but Ryui calls after him. Or how do I keep saying it? Like, it's like Rui, right? Rui? You know that we'll be there, right? Huh? Club recruitment day? All the clubs will be here, including track and drama. Oh. Well, see you there! He whisks out of the room. You coming to man the track booth, yeah? Me? Like I'm the track's poster child? In fact, I probably just scare away potential recruits. Don't think like that. You can be a great asset, man. You just gotta believe. AKA every movie theme ever. We exchange snickers, but Masato grabs my arm. Really, man? You coming? Surprised by his sudden intensity, I contemplate it for a moment. It doesn't take long. Sure, why not? Really? Not like I have anything else to do. Ah yes, I have no motivation, no ambition, I just get dragged along by my friends, whom I don't know why they're friends with me, but they are. Masato grins, releasing my arm. Probably because, well, the thing is, when you make friends in school, especially high school, it's just the people you meet every day and just end up hanging out with all the time, you know? When you get older, it's a lot harder to be with people you know, being with people you'd call friends, really, you know? So enjoy it while you can, mister. Good, I gotta go set it up, but I'm expecting you there. He dashes out of the room after a quick wave to Ryui. She smiles back and promptly turns to me. Have you figured out why he wants you in track so badly? Not a clue. She hesitates for a moment and glances around the room. You could join the drama club instead. It could be a valid excuse for Masato. I think he just asked why I joined a different club when I could have joined track. But still, I totally want to be with you because there's this childhood friend romance tension going on, maybe. I think you really like it. Honestly, it sounds like it could be pretty fun. Ryu seems to enjoy it. She often claims that it's just when we played make-believe as kids. And make-believe is one of the few things I don't mind doing. But, it's so much work. It's no more work than track, baka. Besides, it could be really fun. I'll take your word for it. She rolls her eyes and shoulders her bag. Well, fine, Mr. Grumpy Pants. Some of us have club boosts to manage, so I'm gonna get going. I'll go with you. We walk in step to the door, almost into freedom, then the strident voice of a teacher rips through the air. Ahem. Yama Ishimoto. Surely you didn't expect to escape so easily. Ah yes, my attitude problems. I turn to Ryu, suddenly pleading. Bail me out? Not a chance. What? What? It builds character. I have plenty of character. Come on, throw up a distraction? For me? I throw in a shameless dose of puppy eyes. She only pokes my forehead, sticking her tongue out. You win some, you lose some. Just be glad it's with a teacher instead of the police. She darts off as I call falteringly after her. That's a weird word to say, I guess. Falteringly. Anyway. But at least the police wouldn't bore me to tears. Was that, young man? I turned to find the teacher hovering right behind me. Whips? Nothing. Great weather we're having, huh? She doesn't seem amused. At this point. At one point. It's the second day of school, unless she's referring to teaching me last year. Come to think of it, yeah, that's highly possible. It's clear that detention is doing nothing for your toxic behavior. Well, yeah, because I can nap in detention. Therefore, I've taken the liberty of recommending you for a therapeutic mentorship, which will take place on campus at the discretion of our dorm manager. Yeah, I guess, Yama mentioned, like, roommates for Yahiko last year, so actually, yeah, this might be like a boarding school? Interesting. Requirements will be 1 hour, 5 days a week. The mentor will need to sign off on every visit. The what now? Are you scheduling brainwashing sessions for me? Excuse me. You might have other ideas, young man, but civility and respect are the integral cornerstones of our modern society. If it does result in scrubbing away some of that arrogance of yours, then I say good riddance. I'm shocked by this unusually passionate outburst from her. She slows her breath, shaking as she jabs a book and envelope at me. Take this, Mr. Ryota's office. You know where it is. A tiny pinch of tension releases. Mr. Ryota's the mentor? Well, maybe this won't be so bad. I give the book once over. The cover is somber and 100% boring. Block letters proclaim primates of the 21st century, 100 plus correctional techniques to improve the mindset of any underdeveloped adolescent. Well, gee, I'm honored. Take it. I take it. Goodbye, Yama Ishimoto. She flounces out of the classroom, clearly fed up with my shenanigans. Alright. And I guess, well, we're starting off after that, quite intense prologue into just like, you know, high school slice of life, you know, theme. I guess this is all just like character development, you know, or rather introducing all the characters before we really get into the nitty-gritty. Which again reminds me of I mentioned before, Higurashi no Nakukoro ni. You know, it starts off all like innocent and you know, typical, but then it might turn a little dark later, I assume. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. Wordlessly, I turn and head down the corridor. Guess someone's a little touchy. Not that I can blame her. If I had a student like me, I'd hate him too. Well, if you understand that, why don't you be a little less rude, huh? I trot down the stairs to the first floor and stop before a door at the edge of a hallway, bearing the sign J. Ryota, Dorm Manager. I rap sharply on the wood 3 times. Mr. Ryota? What is it, nuclear war? What? No. Don't feel like opening the door for anything less important. I could open the door myself. Locked it, don't bother. I press my ear against the door, listening keenly. There it is, action-packed orchestral strings just barely bleeding through the wood, faint clang of swords on shields. Are you in a clan war, Mr. Ryota? Bah. A moment later, the door's lock clicks open. Was he playing something? Playing a game? I slip inside the room, holding back a smile. The office is minimalistic in its furnishings, but fairly welcoming. Warm light encompasses the rooms, highlighting the comfortable chairs arranged around the coffee table that bears a bowl of potato chips. It looks more like the office of a therapist rather than the office of a school dorm manager. Oh, he is, I guess. He is being a therapist now, right? In the corner, I spot a comely mahogany desk on top of which sits Jiro Ryota in a very dramatic position. Welcome to the Satan Room. Have you brought an offering to appease the Dark Lord? Indeed I have. With an equally exaggerated bow, I presented the book and note from my teacher. Mr. Ryota's eyebrows scrunch in confusion. How the hell's this? I kind of got into trouble earlier for talking back. Instead of detention, the teachers convinced me that I need I need a more permanent solution. Like death? I can help you with that. No, she was thinking more along the lines of counseling, I believe. Oh, okay. Mr. Ryota sure is a funny guy. But what the hell is this? He shakes the book emphatically. The curriculum that the teacher recommends for, helping me. Oh, right. Well, I'll put it where it belongs. He promptly throws it in the trash, which extracts a laugh from me. Now, to business. Let me read up on what exactly your teacher wants. His eyes drift over the paper that I silently hand over to him. Huh, oh boy, isn't this precious. Let me translate. Dear Mr. Ryota, I'm having trouble subduing a boy who actually has a brain and doesn't care for the inefficiencies of bureaucracy. Sincerely, a woman who was certainly the most boring person in her graduating class. Ah, that's rude, come on. I choke back laughter as he crumples the paper into a ball and lobs it in the trash. By the way, don't tell anyone I said that, or I might get fired. And then you'll have to take counseling from Mrs. Hanazawa. And then where would we be? Consider the NDA signed. Mr. Ryota reclines Mr. Ryota reclines easily against his chair, kicking his legs on the table. So, how's the apartment? Still one piece mostly? Good to hear. And Phil? Phil? The little houseplant, the one I placed on your shelf. Your memory sucks more than mine, kid. Oh, right. I vaguely remember Mr. Ryota why am I saying words wrong? I vaguely remember Mr. Ryota forming an odd attachment to the plant when I moved into my apartment, even to the point where he named him Phil. I think he died. Oh, that's a bit odd. I thought he was a fake plant. Nope, look faked on the outside, I guess, but all real on the inside. Rip Phil. A satisfied smile posed at Mr. Ryota's lips, and I suddenly realized the metaphor. We're not talking about plants, are we? Your optimism is inspiring, kid. I would have thought your answer to be the contrary. Wait, what? I don't understand. This just flew over my head. He's not talking about the plant, or? Looked fake on the outside, all real on the inside. I don't get it. Is he talking about myself, or is he talking about Ryota? Or is he talking about Phil? But Phil's dead, so I don't think they're talking about Phil exactly. Anyway. Your optimism is inspiring, kid. What? People look real on the outside, but they're all fake inside? Oh yeah, I guess they're talking about people after all. Something like that. Well, we were talking about plants. How was I supposed to know? Yeah, how was I supposed to know? Well, you know now. So now that you know, is your answer the same? No. Didn't even need to think about it. It's the truth. People pretend to be genuine on the outside, but inside, they're nothing. Oh, it's the opposite. Mr. Ryota evaluates me for a moment, but to my surprise, there's no judging in his gaze. You must be a real party pleaser. I'll be here all week. What made you draw such a depressing conclusion? I can tell that his mind's on the fast track of psychoanalysis, childhood trauma, clinical depression, suicidal tendencies. Time to put that to rest, because if anything should be blamed, it should be my 100% natural disdain for humanity. Oh, yeah, that's something I can relate to when I was in high school. Now it's only 99% disdain, you know? Power of observation, if anything. People like to be strong, confident, independent on the outside. Peel that away, and what do you get? Their heart. Oh, then that heart must be pretty pathetic. Did I ever say otherwise? No. No, I guess he didn't. Mr. Ryota eases from the topic and leans back on his chair, drawing a planner from his drawer. Well, if it were up to me, I'd say that you're just like any other surly teenager going through the first throes of senioritis. But paperwork's been signed, and you know how bureaucracy goes. I thought our government was supposed to be more efficient since the national changes. Huh. You assume the mayor actually does anything important. He scrawls something down on his tablet and taps the screen. My phone buzzes gently in my pocket. Your teacher recommended that we meet every day, but honestly, who has time for that? We'll just play it by ear, and you let me know if you ever get the urge to murder someone. Well, considering that prologue, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen. That might be foreshadowing. That probably means you're due for another checkup. I check what he sent me, a copy of the spreadsheet that's taped outside his door, revealing his available times. Wow, how do you have this much free time? Life as a door manager is just swell, isn't it? I thought at least you had some kind of job. I'll let you on a secret. The kids here don't cause much trouble, not cause they're angels, not cause they're boring, because they're too prissy. They don't want to get their manicured nails dirty with things like graffiti or booze. But they do need someone to cry to when they stub a toe, and the other teachers seem to think that I fit that job description. Actually, it's more likely they don't want to deal with hormonal brats. So instead of being a helicopter parent, I get to be a bench warmer who just nods and smiles once every few minutes. Like with me. Well, you're more interesting than the rest of them, I hope. Yeah, that sounds like the academy in a nutshell. Half the people are too snobby to be fun, and the other half are too lazy to care. Well, what do you get to hear? Whining about grades? Toxic relationships? Sometimes, but not always. At any rate, I can't exactly complain. Makes my job easy. Thank you for your massive contribution to society. You're absolutely welcome. They seem equal to yours. I snort. He chuckles. Well, I mean, we get along quite well. I guess we're pretty similar. Ryota and I. Yeah, this could have been really painful if I hadn't gotten Mr. Ryota. Well, as your loving, caring, and awe-inspiring mentor, I can hardly keep you from the beauty that is Club Recruitment Day. Oh no, I'm fine, really. Off you go, take a selfie and send it to me. Or I'll schedule an appointment tomorrow. But that's, you said... You need to expand your opportunities, broaden your horizon, go where no man has gone before. But... And most importantly, you need to get out of my office so I can check on my clan. That's just sad, Mr. Ryota. World domination calls. Gotta get back to my MMO. Or, well, I assume it's an MMO, like clans and stuff, guilds. See ya. And without another word, he shoves me out and slammed the door in my face. I have no choice but to head to the school courtyard. It doesn't take much time to find Masudo behind the track table, armed with I Heart Track flags and I Heart Track posters and I Heart Track headbands. I get this very vague feeling that he loves track. You don't say! He welcomes me enthusiastically, immediately piling all admin duties on me. But true to my word, I proceed to be completely useless through the recruitment process. Eventually, Masudo seems to give up, handing me a simple sign to wave around. I amuse myself by coming up with truly terrible pitches. Want a six-pack? Join track! Looking for health hacks? Join track! Got a knack? Join track! What a salesman! Get rid of your lack? Join track! Pick up the slack? Join track! For reasons unknown, Masudo seems to love this. He grins and snaps me on the back. Well, because actually, it's the sort of cheesy thing that he would do too, you know? There you go, you just need to apply yourself, see? I'm pretty sure that those glances we're getting from the underclassmen aren't looks of admiration. Despite my obvious shortcomings, Masudo hooks 4 recruits in the track. Honestly, I'm pretty surprised that he got that many. A lot of the attendees of this school are the richer, lazier kids. Yeah. Okay, so we pretty much confirmed this, that this school is like a high-class private school. A high-class private boarding school, a bunch of rich people. I also noticed that he seems to be a lot easier on them than he was on me. When the club recruitment fair is done and everything is turned down, Masudo and I head to the school entrance to wait for Ryu and Yahiko. For reasons unknown, Masudo is ecstatically chattering about my newfound enthusiasm. You killed it today, man. That's the kind of team spirit we need. Great. I might have just gotten myself into more trouble. Well, I guess I was on track for most of last year. Might as well do it again this year. To him, then I said, geezers are the gravy stick of a motherlode. We could use a man with your skills. And so he signed a contract with the blood from his veins, thereby permanently joining the drama club. What? Wow, I can't believe you're so good at recruiting people. You know what they said to me? What? What? Something like, get a life. You're just undeniable reality. Well, darn my socks. Youth these days are so cynical. And the two come to a halt as Masudo waves Ryui over. Well, looks like you guys have plans. I better leave you and you and everyone else to have some nice time together. What are you talking about? It's more like babysitting duty, where I'm the babysitter and I have to make sure a bunch of kids won't, set the house on fire and stuff. Oh, come on. He's your best friend, isn't he? And your childhood friend? Well, childhood friend never wins, Don't you know that? Blonde girl. Yeah, but... have you guys made a childhood promise together? Pinky promise? Eat 1,000 Eat 1,000 needles if you don't fulfill the promise of being married in 10 years? What? No way! Really? Really? Those kinds of things are an anime cliché. More cliché than explosions in an action movie? Exactly. Well, think of it this way. Although explosions may be a cliche, they're also a staple. You can't have a proper action movie without proper explosions. It's the same with life. You can't have a proper childhood friend without a proper childhood promise. I wince. Did you have to mention romance? Really? Oh, look, there they are. Guess I better get going. Have fun storming the castle. The girl cheerily skips away as Ryu sprints to us for refuge. I try for a smirk. Looks like you and Akira had a productive recruitment day. Akira Karube, Ryu's best friend, current roommate, and self-appointed matchmaker. Also another person who I don't get along with, but let's be honest, do I get along with anyone? Well, you get along with her. And the two idiots that hang out with you. Akira was sure productive. I barely had any luck. I noticed that she's mastered herself surprisingly quickly. Well, I guess that 10 years of make-believe and drama club would do that to you. How'd you guys do? We got 4 new recruits, 15 liters of fresh blood. 15 liters? Did you just pull that number out of your head, or is it actually legit? Real woman? Or what? How you read that? Real woman? Real woman? Oh, okay, I guess he's calling her a woman? That's weird. Real woman? Of course that's legit. Average weight's 55 kilograms. The average teenager has blood volume of 7% his or her total weight. He got ourselves 4 new recruits. I guess he's great at math, or rather, biology facts? Ryu's eyes are already swimming as he raves on, seemingly unaware of the curious glances from the freshman who's pegged him as a rough thug. Is he? Actually, can I read that again? I mean, well, I guess calling him a woman, that's what makes him like a thug. Assuming no one's anemic, we've got 55 times 4 in total kilograms, which is 220. Multiply that by 7.07 for the weight to be a blood volume ratio, bam, 15.4. Round it down to 15 for a nice round number, and we got ourselves 50 liters of fresh blood. Are you sure you want to be in track? Shouldn't you... I mean, well, I guess you can be track as well as be a doctor, is what I'm thinking. A career in doctor as well as being good at running. And this is why Masato's really good at catching people off guard. And I guess he isn't a total idiot. He's good at something. I can't believe you actually calculated that. Why? It ain't no trouble. Sure sounds like trouble. Hell nah. You should see what we do in Honor Society. Yes, Honor Society. Not only does he participate in it, he's the president. Honor Society? Oh, did I not mention that he's literally good at everything? Athletics, academics, heck, probably even art. Oh, so yeah, I guess... Huh. So he's the ace student that only seems like an idiot at first, but really, he's really good at everything. Except sarcasm. That's one area I can trump in. The only area. Oh, here comes the great Yahiko Ikari. Sure enough, a familiar shock of blonde hair pops around the corner. Yahiko's beaming, but I notice that he's not holding a single sign-up page in his hand. Well, he's a real idiot. But then again, I mean, I don't know. He is certainly optimistic, and in a way, that's also a good trait to have in the real world. Good day to you, my pitiful peasants. You arrived just in time to witness my brilliant plan. Well, technically, he was the one who came to us, but I stay silent. You see, I've decided to create my own club, a club worthy of my immeasurable greatness. In other words, he got rejected by all the other clubs. Oh boy. You're making a club? Good for ya. Good for ya, or yeah. I know, I'm gonna call it the Happy Club, and it'll be comprised of minions who will follow my every bidding. I think we just witnessed the creation of the shadiest club on campus. We will start by taking over the school, then Isamu, then Japan, then the entire world. Well, at least he doesn't lack ambition. And once my mansion on the moon is built, we will have dominion over the universe itself. But he does lack brains. What you guys talking about all secret like? Nothing. We just, talking about how we haven't gone to GFC in quite a while. As completely unconvincing as this excuse was, she successfully turns Masado's attention to food. GFC? I like the way you think, Ryui. GFC? What's GFC? We better go now before the dinner rush starts. He marches off, humming cheerily, as Yahiko blathers on about how amazing his new club will be. Great cover. I know. Totally inconspicuous. Just as inconspicuous as the time you wore a kimono. Did you cross-dress, Yama? Of course you bring that up. You wanna get tickled? You want it dare. Whenever you mention anything about kimonos, I feel a sudden urge to tickle the nearest person. We better get going. We should follow Masano and Yahiko to GFC, yeah. She speeds away before I have the chance to stop her. I only chuckle to myself as I catch up. And I guess GFC, I guess they're mentioning food, so I assume GFC is like a restaurant? Is it Yama's restaurant, or is it just some random fast food restaurant?